And by the time I'd recovered enough to do something, Dorian had left. And Mr. Lord was dead.
Well, what happened then? Did you call the police?
No.
Well, what about later? I mean, once it was discovered that Mr. Lord was dead, did you speak with the police then?
No.
Well, Ms. Crawford, when did you talk to the police?
Actually, my first conversation with the authorities came just a few months ago.
You waited 18 years before you came forward with what you knew. Why?
Because I did a terrible thing.
And what was that, Miss Crawford?
Instead of going to the police, I went to her.
Her?
Dorian. To tell her that I'd been in the hospital room that night and that I'd seen her smothering Victor Lord.
I see. And what was the result of that encounter?
Well, we came to an understanding. Dorian has sent me $60,000 a year from that moment on.
And in return?
I never said a word to anyone about what happened that night.
I see. Your Honor, I have here photocopies of bank records of the canceled checks that Dorian Lord did, in fact, send to Ethel Crawford, totaling over $1 million. The Commonwealth would like to enter into evidence as People's Exhibit C-15.
Very well. Bailiff.
$1 million. Now, that's a lot of money.
Yes, it is.
But I'm puzzled about something. Now, you just said a moment ago that you'd finally talked to the police. Does that mean that your agreement with the defendant had ended?
It had to.
Why?
Because everything changed. Dorian's niece, Ms. Daimler, contacted me and started asking questions about Mr. Lord's death. And then his daughter, Victoria Lord Buchanan, did the same sometime later. Now, it all made me very nervous. I was scared to death.
Scared that Blair Daimler or Vicky Buchanan might somehow force you to reveal your secret?
Yes. No, I am not a young woman, and I'm sick, and I just knew that I couldn't stand up to that kind of pressure.
So what did you do?
I called Dorian, and I told her that something had to be done about this situation right away.
And what was her response?
Well, she flew immediately to see me in Charlottesville, and she agreed to a final payment, a lump sum, so that I would be able to leave the country.
And how much was this final payment to be?
$1 million.
But you didn't leave, did you?
No.
And could you please tell the court why not?
Because right after Dorian left my apartment that afternoon, I lapsed into a diabetic coma, which I have no doubt in my mind that she caused.
Oh, this is a groundless accusation. I'd like it struck from the record.
Your Honor, the witness's statement is a reflection of her state of mind at the time regarding the defendant. It is not an accusation per se.
Yes, I'll allow it. Objection overruled. Continue, Mr. Gannon.
Thank you, Your Honor, but I have no further questions.
Oh, very well. All right, court stands recessed for 5 minutes.
A friend and I were in a lingerie store when she said she found these new pads that really help protect panties. Pads with ruffles. New Always Curves. And I said, ruffles? In fact, they're soft, stretchy gathers that form panty-protecting barriers. All
Just when I need a flight. Now I'm never gonna get to land here. Better be a jack in this car. Need a hand? What's wrong?
I don't know. I'm just not sure about this. I mean, part of me wants to keep going, but I'm scared.
And we should stop.
I'm sorry.
Rebecca.
I'm sorry. I'll be back.
Good job, Hank.
Hey, yeah, thanks.
I know Vicky's not going to be happy to hear about all the details you brought out, but she's definitely going to be happy to hear that Dorian's one step closer to prison.
Yeah, well, let's just hope that Crawford's testimony sticks, huh?
Yeah. Excuse me for a second.
Yeah.
Every word out of that woman's mouth is a lie.
Dorian.
It's
Pardon
true.
me, ladies. Counselor, could I have a word with you for just a second?
Please.
How you doing?
I'm just fabulous, can't you tell?
Look, Red, I know that Hank's a heavy hitter. He's got you on the ropes right now, and the professional in me wants you to miss with every punch you throw during your cross-examination, but I love you more than anything, and I'm proud of you, and I want you to come out swinging with the best of them.
Thanks, champ.
Could you possibly have picked a worse moment to consort with the enemy?
Bo is not the enemy, all right? An adversary, yes, but he is never the enemy.
Never mind about Bo, okay? Now, that woman made her lies sound very convincing. What are you going to do to change the jury's mind?
All rise.
Be seated. Court will come to order. Ms. Gannon, are you ready to cross-examine the witness?
Yes, Your Honor. I am.
Dear Aquafresh, my teeth were so sensitive.
The pain was awful. Aquafresh Sensitive targets the problem, soothing the...
I wish you could have seen the look in his eyes when we told him that any money that went out had to be approved by all three of us.
Listen, I have seen Max angry. I can imagine.
Yeah, so then he announced, he's going to go to California on this business trip, and court said he didn't trust him to go on his own, and I agreed, and that was the last straw.
And so he walked out and he spent the night at the palace.
Yeah. Andrew, I tell you, I've been through so much this week, I can hardly see straight, much less find the right words to talk to him about this problem.
Gambling.
I can't, I can't lie to him and tell him that I don't think he has a problem.
Well, you shouldn't. You shouldn't. You know, this gambling, this is every bit as serious and as addictive as drugs, as alcohol, any of it.
Wait, hold on just a minute, honey. Max is not addicted.
He's not?
No. He just gets all wound up, and he loses sight of what's important, and I just wish he'd get all wound up over something healthy, I think I just thought of the perfect thing.
What?
I knew it all along. I let Court talk me out of it, but my gut told me I was right. Faith, Andrew, is all about faith.
Well, what is it?
The Mountain Sunset Inn.
What, we spent the wedding night?
Yes, honey, I bought it for Max.
You
as a
bought
gift.
it for
Yes,
him?
I did.
Whoa, wow. Does he?
He's gonna love it. I know he is.
He doesn't know about it
No, he didn't know
yet.
one word about it yet. But this is a perfect time to tell him. Core told me that that it wasn't enough for him, but I know that this is what he needs right now. He needs something, something juicy to sink his teeth into, and this will be a sign that I still believe in him. Oh, Andrew, I just love talking to you. You made me see things so clearly. I feel a million times better.
Well, I
Thanks
know,
a
but
million,
I don't think we got to the root of it.
Oh,
I really
honey,
don't.
I know we did. This is perfect. I'm gonna do what I should have done right from the beginning. I'm gonna set things right on the right track.
Yeah.
Andrew, honey, I don't think my thoughts aren't with you and Cassie. I want y'all to work everything out. Y'all deserve all the happiness in the world. I hate to cut this short, but I really should go home.
Oh, so soon?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Well, I tell you what, I'll give you a ride home.
No, please, please. I'll get a cab, and I'd just like to spend some time alone.
Oh, my Blair.
Thank you.
You be happy. Okay, we'll try this again soon, all right?
All right.
How long have you been here?
Long enough to know not to butt into what looked like a very deep conversation.
Oh, Max. Cassie's got such a haunted look in her eyes. What?
You were right.
About what?
About yourself. Once, a long time ago, you told me you weren't the devil in the red dress everybody made you out to be. Lately, I've been seeing a lot of your good side.
You didn't hear what we were saying.
Didn't have to. I could tell from the look in your eyes that you cared.
Well, you've seen that look before, Max. So, how's tricks? You don't look too well rested yourself. Things still on the bumpy side with Luna?
I didn't come here to talk about Luna. I came here to give you this, another 1,000 towards the loan. Take it.
I've already told you there is no rush.
There is for me. I want this debt paid as of yesterday.
Okay. All right, Max. If you are so eager to pay off your little debt, I got a proposition for you.
Nurse Crawford, you're very aware of Victor Lord's medical history. You were aware that he had a heart attack some 9 months before his first stroke?
Of course.
Do you know who the person was that saved Victor Lord's life when he was stricken with that heart attack?
Yes, I do.
Could you point that person out to the court today, please? Let the record show that the witness has pointed out the defendant, Dorian Lord. Nurse Crawford, could you also tell us that in that approximate 6-week period between Victor Lord's first stroke and the one that ultimately killed him?
No, Dorian Lord killed him.
Yes, so you claim. Please, just tell me, in the time that I mentioned, did Dorian Lord ever strike Victor Lord?
No.
Did she ever withhold food from him?
No.
Did she ever abuse him mentally, physically, verbally?
No.
No. No. In fact, during that whole entire difficult period, Dorian Lord gave Victor Lord nothing but constant and unwavering love and attention. Isn't that right?
Well, she seemed to care for him, yes.
Thank you.
Until she withheld the medication that he needed.
Oh, yes. What was that day? That was the day he had his second stroke?
Yes. And that's what caused it.
Really? Indeed. Well, interesting. According to your testimony, Dorian Lord insisted upon giving Victor Lord that medication, which was already overdue. As Victor Lord's private nurse, isn't it your duty to administer medication on a schedule?
Well, usually, yes, but...
So, according to your own logic, if a delayed medication brought on the stroke, aren't you responsible then for bringing on that stroke?
Objection. The witness is not on trial here.
Sustained.
Ethel Crawford, you testified that you were not in the room at the time that Dorian Lord administered this medication. Isn't that right?
Oh, yes.
Then how do you know what medication was or was not given at that time? The answer is you don't know.
Objection. The counsel is badgering the witness.
I am trying to get her to tell the truth. Your Honor, from the moment that this witness took the stand, her testimony has been filled with inaccuracies and inflammatory claims against the defendant, which she can't possibly back up.
Objection. Counsel is making speeches. Cross-examination is for questions
I
and
will
questions
ask
only.
questions. I will be asking lots of questions. Enough to make it very clear that Ethel Crawford is nothing but a liar.
Objection.
about if we take a jaunt over to the Wild Rose Club? Tell you what, I'll go 50-50 on anything we lose. I mean, who knows, Max? Play your cards right for a couple of hands and you can take a massive chunk out of everything you owe me. What do you say?
Oh, you got it all figured out, don't you?
Come on. One lucky streak and you're golden. What do you say, Max?
Not today. I got too many things on my mind.
Okay. But I tell you what. If you change your mind, you know where to find me, all right? Here you go. For luck. Have a good day, Max.
Max, I see that you're spending another night in the hotel. I've been kind of praying that you and Luna would patch things up.
Well, you know, there's nothing I would like better. But until Luna gets past that crazy riff about me having a gambling problem... Oh, you still singing that same tune too, Renee?
I don't want you to get in over your head, Max. Those waters can get mighty deep, you know.
Ooh. Listen, I can take care of myself. You know what? That's what I'm gonna do right now.
Do. Where are you going?
The casino.
Who says you can't find a cop when you need one?
That's all right. Glad to help. Actually, I'm off duty, but get so used to stopping when people are in trouble.
Yeah.
Where you headed anyway?
I'm going north to New England. I got a brother in Boston.
Oh, you're not gonna get there going this way.
Why's that?
Well, this road leads straight into Pennsylvania.
Oh man, you're kidding me, right? Well, I better stop, get myself a map.
Well, what's this? I noticed it on your dash when I walked up. What's going on with you, fella?
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
We should get back to campus.
Right. Rebecca, I need to ask you something.
Pal, it's...
Please, it's important. I can't just let things sit anymore, even if it means I might get hurt.
Why would you be hurt?
Because I want the truth on this, okay? No matter what. A couple of minutes ago, we were lying here, and I could feel your heart beating. And then we stopped because you said you were scared.
I was.
Well, I need to know why. Tell me the truth, Rebecca. Are you scared to be that close to me? Are you afraid to make love to me because of what I did to Marty?
Tell me, Nurse Crawford, do you get easily confused?
I don't understand the question.
Do you forget things? Do you get foggy?
Never.
Really? Then perhaps you can explain these medical records from Charlottesville Hospital. The ones that indicate you've gone into a diabetic shock not once, but twice as a result of you accidentally giving yourself an overdose of insulin.
Objection. The witness's medical history has no relevance to this case.
Your Honor, not 10 minutes ago, this witness made a not-so-veiled reference to the defendant as her would-be murderer and the alleged weapon, a hypodermic needle filled with insulin. Now, I will not sit here while the jury is being biased by ridiculous accusations when A, there's absolutely no proof to back them up, and B, the witness nearly did herself in the very same way once before.
Counselor, for the last time, the witness is not on trial. The objection is sustained. And from this point on, you will address the facts of the case and just the facts. Is that understood?
Your Honor.
Is that understood?
Yes.
Very well. Proceed.
All right, Nurse Crawford, let's just stick to the facts, shall we? Specifically the ones from 18 years ago. Let's talk about what really happened the night Victor Lord died.
Peekaboo! I see you in a bulky diaper that just might leak. Uh-oh! But I...
Cassie, back so soon?
I didn't feel like sitting in a restaurant.
So you got up, you left to get back to the husband who loves you more than anything in the world, and I bet you're starving, and I got a surprise for you. Could it be? Could it be? Yes, it is. A BLT, your favorite. Come on, eat.
Andrew, I just want to go lie down.
Okay. I got a better idea. Why don't you go lie down? I'll make you some... I got a better idea. Why don't I lie down with you and we'll watch that, the video. Oh, the Buster Keaton video that you love. Come on, sweetie, let's go.
Andrew, don't.
Come on, what? Don't what? Don't what?
Bring up any soup or turn on a movie or even come up. All I want to do is sleep.
No, I better, I better get myself a better map, right? Because obviously I can't read the one I got, because, I was going to Pennsylvania. I mean, where am I now, anyway?
Whoa. You really are turned around. Look, you go right up here, take a right at your first chance.
Yeah.
Run in the interstate in about 1.5 miles. You should be in Boston by nightfall.
Oh, great. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
You bet.
All right.
Take care now.
Yeah, you take care too, officer. Thanks a lot. Only I'm not going to be in Boston. 'Cause I'm going to land for you.
Powell, no. What you did to Marty last year, well, it has nothing to do with why I wanted to stop. Nothing at all.
Are you sure?
Absolutely. Powell, I'm in love with you. I mean, you'd better believe that after the way I just kissed you.
I was definitely getting that feeling, but...
Powell, I know the day will come when I won't want to stop.
You're just not ready yet.
And I don't know when I will be. All I know is that I don't want my first time to just happen.
Sure.
I guess it sounds kind of silly, but I always imagined my first time would be perfect. Actually, I figured that the first man that I slept with would be my husband.
I understand. I do. And I would never want to force you into something that you weren't totally okay with.
I know. I trust you, Powell.
Good. Because I'm not going to stop letting you know how much I care about you. How can I? I love you too, Rebecca. And I'm not afraid to let you know about it anymore.
Nurse Crawford, does this diagram accurately depict the layout of Victor Lord's hospital room that he occupied the night he died?
It does.
And according to your testimony, you were standing here in the bathroom doorway, watching Dorian Lord smother Victor Lord in his bed. Isn't that correct? Meaning
Yes.
you would have been right about there. Is that correct?
Yes.
Huh. Well, the bed's over here, though, and at an angle.
So?
Well, so if someone were standing, say, here, over Victor Lord while he was in his bed, they would have been standing with his or her back to you. Isn't that true? Look at the diagram, Nurse Crawford. Isn't that true?
I suppose so, but,
There was no moon the night in question, was there? So the room was very dark, wasn't it?
Well, I guess so. I don't remember.
Well, I could show you an almanac, believe me. There was no moon. As a matter of fact, the only light in the room came from the luminescent dials of the machines all around his bed. Isn't that true?
I don't remember, but what about it?
Well, if the room were so dim and the person were standing here at the bed with their back to you, then I don't see how you could tell who that person was. In fact, Nurse Crawford, isn't it true that you never even got a good look at that person?
I know what I saw. The person smothering Victor Lord was Dorian Lord.
Nurse Crawford, you rather deftly parlayed Victor Lord's ultimate end into a very handsome annuity. 60,000 per, courtesy of Dorian Lord. Isn't that right?
Well, I'm not proud of it, but...
But it's true.
Yes.
And yet, according to your testimony, you were convinced that Dorian Lord had attempted to kill you with an overdose of insulin. Isn't that right, Nurse Crawford? Isn't that the reason that you've so zealously brought these charges forward now?
No.
No? Oh, come on, Nurse Crawford. The one and only motivating factor in your fervor to see Dorian Lord punished is that somewhere in your clouded and rather confused mind, you truly believe that Dorian Lord turned on you in Charlottesville. Isn't that true?
She did turn on me. Did I make up the coma?
No. No, Nurse Crawford, you didn't make up the coma. But you made up a lot of other things. And you've admitted to being a blackmailer, and last but not least, a woman lusting for revenge. Which brings me to one more question. Why should anyone believe a person like you now?
Objection!
Withdrawn. Thank you, Nurse Crawford.
Gentlemen, our attempts to stop...
Hey, how are you?
I'm okay.
Yeah. I came by to see how you guys were doing. But I guess I know that now. Things aren't any better, are they? Hi, Andrew.
Hey, Renee, business pretty good, is it?
Hello, beautiful. Yeah, it's just great.
Well, I'm looking for one of your guests.
Max?
Who else? I gotta find him sooner and soon, and I went up to his room and he's nowhere to be found. I was wondering if you might be able to tell me where I could find him.
John,
Yes.
we need another setting at this table, please.
Renee, look at me. Can you tell me where he is?
He's at the one place he should not go anywhere near.
Oh my goddess. The casino. It is so tough to bet when you're betting alone. Now, if you were Max Holdens, where would he put you?
He'd put you on red. He put everything on red.
Well, I got to admit it. Nora sure surprised me.
Yeah,
She tends to do that.
Yeah, Nora hit us with a world-class shot.
You really think she did that much damage, Hank?
Oh, come on. I mean, did you check out the jury during her questioning? The way they were staring at Ethel Crawford? Well, there's a real good chance that Dorian Lord is looking a lot less guilty to them right now.
Well, you're not going to just stand there with your hands in your pockets and let her get away with it, are you?
Oh, no. I mean, things are going Nora's way so far. But I think I know something that's going to tilt it towards us.
What?
You're going to find out, buddy. Listen, Bo, I'm sorry, man.
What? Sorry for what? Hank, what are you talking about? What are you going to do?
All rise.
Be seated. Court will come to order. Mr. Gannon, are you ready to call your next witness?
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, the Commonwealth calls Commissioner Bo Buchanan to the stand.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God?
I do.